Hello everyone, and welcome to the East Texan Sports Report. I'm your host, Tyler McDonough. I'm joined here by my co-host, Zach Cottam. All right, Zach, well, let's just dive into things. Why don't you give us an update on women's basketball?
Sounds good. So on the season so far, the women's basketball team is sitting at 17-9. This month, they've been really back and forth between wins and losses. However, they had an away victory against A&M Kingsville, in which we had 3 players record double-digit figures in scoring. The Lions have 2 games left on the season, one tonight against UT Permian Basin, and then they close out the season Saturday against West Texas A&M.
And over here on the men's side, recently the men just got off a 5-game road trip. 3 of the first 4 games on that road trip were played in overtime. On February 1st, the number 22 ranked Lions defeated Western New Mexico in overtime 93-87 behind Reggie Reed's 27 points. The Lions stayed in state against Eastern New Mexico, and they played them another overtime game, 85-81. Aaron Horn led them in scoring that night with 18. The Lions did continue their road trip with their 3rd straight road game against Angelo State. They lost 82-66. Reggie Reed and Daquan Wolford led the way for the Lions with 15 and 11. And on February 10th, the Lions got back on track, defeating A&M Kingsville 86-78 in another overtime game. Reggie Reed had 27 points on a game high on 8 of 13 shooting. And the Lions finished their regular season with an 18-6 record as they go to West Texas A&M in UTBB, like you said, on February 22nd and 24th.
Sounds good. Now, over on track and field this past weekend, the Lions traveled to the Texas Tech Matador qualifier, where Minna Svajard sets the Lone Star Conference record in the pole vault at 12 feet 6 1/4 inches, and Natalia Robbins broke the school record in women's weight throw with a distance of 17.79 meters. Steven Martinez set a school record in the 1,000-meter run with a time of 2 minutes, 40.47 seconds. And up next is the Lone Star Conference Indoor Track and Field Championships on February 24th and 25th at Texas Tech.
And over this past weekend, the softball team swept Tarleton State in 3 games. And in the first game, the Lions won 4-3 behind Vanessa Avina's first home run of the season. And Bree Sims added in 2 doubles and an RBI. And Emily Otto picked up her 4th win of the season to go 4-0 in the year. In the second game of the year, Tarleton State gave no resistance as the Lions won 6-1 behind starting pitcher Katie Dean. Katie Dean goes to 3-1 on the season. And as the Lions went into the 3rd game of the series, they won 6-5 behind Kinsley Hebler, 2nd win of the season, and Emily Otto picked up her 2nd save of the year. The Lions were down 5-0 in the game at one point, but a pair of home runs from Kinsey Hebler and Mariah Jamieson towards the end of the game pushed the Lions to the win. The Lions are back in action February 25th at home versus Missouri Southern State.
Now, despite just being a fall sport, football is in the news year-round. Coach Colby Carthel was named the Football Coach of the Year by Panhandle Sports Hall of Fame. He is a native of Friona, Texas. The Lions added 52 high school signees on February 7th, National Signing Day. And last week, the defending national championships A&M Commerce Lions got back to work with spring football, as the last team standing in 2017 was the first to take the field in 2018.
And as we go from the field to the golf course, the men just got back from San Antonio yesterday as they competed in the St. Mary's Radler Invitational at Dominion Country Club. The Lions finished 3rd place behind a strong performance from Lucas McCubbin. He shot a 2 under par in the tournament. The Lions defeated all 4 conference teams that were there in the field, and as the men were in San Antonio, the women were just up the road in Austin competing in the St. Edwards Invitational at Onion Creek Country Club. The Lions finished 11th as Paige Garris led the way for the Lions, shooting 79 and 78, and right behind her was McKenna Thomas, who finished 1 stroke behind Paige Garris, shooting an 80 and a 78. The men will be back in action March 12th and 13th at West Texas A&M, while the women will host the Lion Invitational at Tanglewood Resort, March 5th through the 6th.
And to wrap things up, we're going to cover intramural sports. The basketball regular season concluded recently, and playoff games begin tonight. As far as arena soccer goes, the regular season is wrapping up here soon, and the postseason will begin very soon. Thanks for tuning in to the East Texan Sports Report. Stay updated with the East Texan online, and we'll see you this Friday.